All right. Well, happy New Year's to everybody, and I hope that you guys have been learning some really good stuff. The directives today was to share about what my outlook was for the year, and then just take on stocks to analyze. So that's exactly what we're going to do. If you have any stocks that you want me to take a look at, please go ahead and input that in there. I've been watching this, I want to say since about 11, 12 o'clock this afternoon. I've been writing down some stocks that people have been talking about. It's got to the point where it's got so many that I guess I'll just, I can go over the ones that I liked from the list that I saw in there. And then again, if anybody has any in particular they want me to take a look at, I have no problem taking a look at them. Okay. First things first, where is the outlook for 2025? I heard one of the presenters say earlier that, predicting the future is kind of tough, right? Nobody can really do it. And I agree to that. I agree to that. However, the way I approach it is by just following a simple indicator to kind of help me and see. So I don't really plan for the future, so to speak, as far as like where's 2025 going to be, but more so than one or two things I want to know. First, are we in a bull market or bear market? And in the case that we turn bearish, I need to know that as soon as possible. Second is then just taking the trades month by month, quarter by quarter basis. Okay. So right now, let me show you the indicator that I use to help me. It's a very simple indicator, just to help me see whether or not we are bullish or bearish, and should I be worried about a bear market or should I just stay bullish? It's very, very simple. And by the way, I learned this from another gentleman who has since passed away. His name was Wally Panucci. Interesting enough, he had my same name too as well, but Wally Panucci, may his soul rest in peace. But Wally Panucci was a guy who founded a meetup group that we had in Tampa, Florida. And he learned this from a gentleman named Chuck Hughes. So I don't know if you guys know what Chuck Hughes. I believe in giving credit where credit is due. But if you've heard about Chuck Hughes came up with this. Wally Panucci learned this from him, and I learned this from Wally Panucci back in 2014. And it's a very simple indicator, and I've been using that ever since then. First things first, we want to go to the monthly time frame to kind of get an idea for how we expect things to go. And then the next thing is that we add the 10 simple moving average on here. And that's pretty much it. You add the 10 simple moving average on here, which is what this is right here. And the idea here that Wally explained to me that he learned from Chuck Hughes was that as long as we're above the 10 simple moving average, we don't do anything, we bullish. Okay. And then Wally P, like I said, may his soul rest in peace, would then, go on and proceed to say that, look, as long as we're above the 10 simple moving average on the monthly time frame for the S&P 500, I place my trades and I just check it once a month, make sure that it's not below the 10 simple moving average. And I'll be sitting by my poolside sipping on pina colada. Okay. So I've ever since then I've studied that and I realized that it is very, very accurate. And so this is what I use to gauge whether or not we're in a bull market or bear market. And so when you ask me, hey, where's 2025 going to be? The answer is I don't really know. But what I would do is I would not want to be a person who is bearish right now. And I would not be interested in being bearish until I see price drop below the 10 simple moving average. Does that make sense? If everybody can give me a why, if that makes sense, it's a very simple concept. I don't try to like overcomplicate things. It's just very, very simple. And so because of that, if you ask me again, hey, where are we going to be at the end of the year? I don't know. But what I can tell you is like in 2022, when I wrote in my reports and saying, hey, the market is going bearish, part of the reason why I said that was because of what I saw here in 2022. By the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, we are back above the 10 simple moving average. And you have to understand during that period of time, there was almost no positive news in the market at the time. But to me, once I saw this, I said, oh, it seems like we're going to be bullish again. And so we stayed bullish from that point on. We were bearish for 1 month in 2023. I think that was in October of 2023, but by November we were back above and we've been bullish ever since then. So what happens when we have big red candles for the month or we have big pullbacks like we see right here? To me, those are just opportunities to buy low. As long as we're above the 10 simple moving average, it's just opportunities to buy low. And that's pretty much what we do. Okay. So What I know what's going to happen by the end of this quarter, by the end of next quarter, in the next 4 quarters, I don't know, but I monitor this on a monthly basis just to make sure that we're above the 10 simple moving average. And if we are, then I look to make sure that everything is positive. Okay, or at least know that it's bullish. Once I see that, then the next thing is to come over here. And on here, I don't really use a 10 simple moving average for the daily time frame, but more so understanding candlesticks. And so on the daily time frame, and I talk a lot about this on candlesticks. If you understand candlesticks, there's about 7 different candlesticks that everybody should learn. If you know those 7 candlesticks, then quite frankly, you don't really need too much more, honestly. And I always tell people, to me, candlesticks are like the language of trading. And so for that reason, once I know that we're not below the 10 simple moving average, I just look for when I see candlesticks that tells me they are ready to go. Every candlestick communicates something, believe it or not. Every single candlestick. People who have followed me knows the ones that I talk about. For instance, this is a bullish Arami signal. A bullish Arami signal is a very strong indication that the downtrend preceding that candlestick is going to come to an end very, very soon, and a reversal should take place. So once I see stuff like that, so that's perfect. The other thing is you see stuff like this. These are what I call buying pressure. Some people call these hammers. But when I see stuff like this, these are very good indication that, you know what, price should not go below these levels right here. These are all bullish signals. So that tells me, hey, this first tells me it's almost like a story, like a movie. You're watching this and it's telling you a story, and they say, or a storybook, and they say, hey, you know what? Price should reverse very, very soon. Now, once that happens, we start seeing this. Hey, wait a second, price should not go below these levels going further. And then you see that the market starts heading higher. It's not coincidence. So we have this right now, and there's a lot of information that candlesticks are telling us right now. From here, which is something that we call a hilltop. A hilltop is an outside day candlestick signal. And what this basically tells us is that, you know, a reversal is in place, pure and simple. In addition to that, we have these two right here, which is something that we call a right side candle. And right side candle basically tells us, get ready for the market to start heading higher. So if you were to ask me today, what do you think is about to happen to the market based on this? Now, I know the market hasn't closed. We still got about another hour left. However, should this market end this way, then what this is now communicating to me is that expect a rally going into next week. Does that make sense? Expect a rally going into next week. So again, from a big picture point of view, we go to the monthly time frame. Everything is still quote unquote bullish. There's no signs that tells me that we should be bearish just yet. Okay. Then based off of that, you say, oh, how do we know when things are getting ready to start heading higher? We start looking for candlestick signals, and candlestick signals are telling me, hey, things are ready to go higher. It's very interesting because usually when these candlestick signals appear, they usually appear when things have done really, really bad or gone really, really bad. And I always tell people, I say, look, it's almost like everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die, right? In order for us to get a bullish rally, we have to see price come down, pure and simple. And so when price are dropping like they have been dropping, it's nothing to panic about as long as we're above the 10 simple moving average on a monthly time frame. We have to see that as these are opportunities for pullbacks in the market. And so the only thing we wait for now is, okay, pullbacks must happen before we get a reversal back to the upside. Pure and simple. If we understand that, it's okay, pullbacks must happen before we get a reversal to the upside. So when these pullbacks occur, the goal now is to figure out what candlestick signals should we be paying attention to kind of tell us we're ready to start heading higher. Same thing. When this pullback began, a bullish Arami signal told us that we're ready to go higher. When this pullback began, a bullish Arami signal told us price is ready to start heading higher again. Does that make sense? And so once we start seeing these things, then it's just a matter of understanding what to pay attention to and be prepared. So my answer to that question is I'm expecting the market to start heading higher within, like literally starting next week, if not already started today. Does that make sense? And as long as we're above the 10 simple moving average on the monthly time frame, I would remain bullish. Should we close below the 10 simple moving average at any month, then and only then would I consider a bearish market. In the meantime, I expect pullbacks to take place. I'm not scared of pullbacks. Pullbacks are there to help me pay attention to buying stocks at a cheaper price. Fair enough? Okay. All right. So that being said, let's take a look at some of the stocks that you guys have. Now, let me just show you what I put down over here. These are some of the stocks that I heard people talk about. I don't know if you guys can see this well. Tesla, Google, Procter & Gamble, and so on and so forth. But then, like I said, it became too much. I stopped typing them in and all that kind of stuff, right? But, all these are just there. These are different stocks that people mentioned. We can go through those if you don't have any. So I see TTAN. Let's go to TTAN. Okay. Um, TTAN is a brand new stock based on what I'm seeing here. Let me double check that. 1 second. Yep, it's a brand new stock. Okay. Typically, and this is something that I teach in my IPO course. I would just tell you this is an IPO stock. So it just went IPO back in December. When you have stocks like this, chances are that they would not do so well. Okay. And so my concern, especially when earnings comes around, is that they would drop big. And so typically what I tell people, and I teach this in my IPO course, is to wait 6 months before you jump into any stocks that just went public, because there's a lot of them that end up not doing well. Let me give you an example. All right. So if anybody ever remembered this company, Blue Apron, when it first came out, actually, you can't even see this anymore because it's no longer in business. This is typically what happens. Now, you'll see this first month. So what month was this? This was June of 2017. So let's go back 10 years. All right. So June of 2017, the first day, they have a lot of exciting moves in the beginning, but then, it tends to end up falling. And you can name multiple IPO stocks, and you'll see the same thing typically taking place with that. Oh, no, that's fine. Was it what's let me even show you this. Something like Ferrari, for instance. Let me go here. You see what ends up happening is in the beginning. Now, this is the monthly time frame, but in the beginning, they tend to struggle before they start heading higher. Match.com, you'll see that they tend to struggle first before they start heading higher. PayPal, when they went public, you'll notice that they tend to struggle before they go higher. So one of the biggest things that I would encourage people to do when it comes to IPO stocks is making sure that you're not one of the first people in there, because some of them do well. Like I remember GoPro, for instance. GoPro did pretty well when it first came out, right? It kind of did well, but then it struggled. All right. So you have to be careful with these. It's pretty much what I'm trying to help you guys see here. Like even though they do well, they end up not doing so well sometimes. So when I see the stock, what was it? TTN? Is that what it was? What stock was that? Oh, no, TTAN, sorry. TTAN. My concern would be that it would struggle. And especially once they have these long wicks like this, chances are they would have a very hard time getting above that level. Okay. That's one of the clear signs, especially with IPO stocks, when they have these long wicks at the top, it's like you can kiss that goodbye. Okay. So be very careful. My advice would be find something different than trying to invest in this one right here. All right. However, should you choose to continue with this, then I would say definitely no more. I mean, you definitely have to have a stop at $94. Yeah, if it goes below $94, I'm telling you, this stock, these are the ones that you will see end up going down to like literally $5 and stuff like that. And we see multiple stocks that do this. So please be careful about that. And again, anybody who wants to know more can learn more through my IPOs course. All right. Mara, let's take a look at Mara. Mara, I like Mara right now because it's had its pullback. So this is really great. I remember back in end of November, beginning of December, I was telling people, I said, look, they've done pretty well because they have been doing really well since October. And then I saw this candlestick here. Again, just like the opposite for the buying pressure that I call it. This is what I call a selling pressure. This is letting you know price is going to have a hard time getting above this level. All right. Now, it doesn't mean it would never clear it. It's just that it would struggle for a little while to get above that level. And so what ended up happening is that it's been going down for quite some time. And now it has hit bottom. Okay. It's hit bottom. It looks like it's getting ready in conjunction with a lot of Bitcoin stocks or cryptocurrency. You'll see right here that, Bitcoin is also doing the same thing too. One of the things I like here is, and again, forgive my drawing, this is just going up, coming down, it's retesting this area. I expect things to start heading higher. Again, it's already in progress. There's multiple candlestick signals that's now been confirmed to tell us that this is ready to go higher. So it needed that break. It needed that pullback. The pullback has occurred. Now we're in the beginning phase of a new rally to the upside. So I'm very excited about that. And I think Mar is going to go for the ride as well. All right. Palantir. Let's take a look at Palantir. Palantir. So Palantir was another one that did extremely well. You look at this on a monthly time frame, it did extremely well. I mean, it's been doing phenomenal for quite some time now. Now we are at the stage where it also needed to take a break. It had been consolidated, is pretty much what it's been doing. And right now, here's one thing that I always tell people. Usually when the overall market is ready to start hitting higher, you'll see a lot of these good companies that have been doing well. They also try to start moving higher. And right now on the S&P 500, I'm here to show you that, again, market is getting ready to start rallying higher. So because of that, we'll probably see companies like Palantir do well too as well as some of these other mag stocks. All right. So to me, if we're to look at this from a candlestick point of view, okay, we have a buying pressure. Buying pressure lets us know price should not go below this level. Price should not go below this level, just like we saw over here, where it says price should not go below this level. Okay, so this is why candlesticks to me are super, super important. It tells us a story. So if I know that price should not go below this level, right? It should not. I mean, it doesn't mean that it cannot, but it should not. Okay. So me knowing that price should not go below, and when I say go below, meaning that it closes below that level, right? So it can dip below it, kind of like how it did right here, and come back up, but it should not close below that level. So let me rephrase that. So if price should not close below this level, right? We've had it once, we've had it twice, and then now we have a right side candle, which tells us that we should be coming up to this level here. So my projected target now would be this new high up here. That's where I would expect it to go. And especially now that the whole tide is ready to rise, and I mean the whole tide being the S&P 500, the whole market, they're all ready to rise now. This should be an easy target for Palantir to reach, no problem. Okay. All right, what else do we have? Deshaun is saying, was it a 10-day simple moving average used for market direction? Correct, but on the monthly time frame. Does that make sense, Deshaun? You use this on the monthly time frame, and yes, that's what I've been using. All right. So, okay, you're welcome. All right, any other stocks that you guys are taking a look at that you want me to analyze? I have no problem looking at them at all. If not, I can bring back what we've been talking about. Somebody actually said something here. I saw somebody make a comment. If you guys can read this part right here, it says, should I be concerned that 80% of the S&P 500 market cap is concentrated in 7 stocks? My answer is no, you should not be concerned. And I'm pretty sure I know the 7 stocks that this person is mentioning is the mags, right? What is it? Apple, okay? I'm like, look, Apple's had a decent pullback. Now we're just waiting for the signal for it to come higher. Now, take a look at this right here. Look at these areas. These are the areas of resistance before. And so the fact that we're getting close to this and getting ready to start heading higher, I don't think that should be an issue. So when you say, should I be concerned that it's only controlled by 7, I won't say that you should be concerned about that. And here's the reason why I say that. If you look at the S&P 500, right? S&P 500, we go here again to the monthly time frame. It's been doing phenomenally well. We go to the NASDAQ 100. That has been doing well too. We go to the Russell 2000, right? It has been coming back, had a bad month last month, but nothing wrong with that. If we were to put the 10 simple moving average on each and every one of these, you'll see that things are bullish. We go to the Dow Jones Industrial, and that has been doing pretty well. We had a bad month last month. That's nothing. That's nothing in an uptrend to see bad months. And so I also like to look at the Dow Jones Transportation, which also seems to be doing okay. Had a bad month last month, but again, these are times where we can expect things to start heading higher again. So I won't necessarily be concerned about the fact that only 7 stocks, and I don't truly believe that those are the only 7 that's controlling everything, because those 7 are not in the Russell, those 7 are not in the Nasdaq. I mean, in the transportations, those 7s are not in the Dow. They might be in the S&P 500, maybe in the Nasdaq, but not in the Dow, not in the, in the Russell 2000. So the fact that all that is moving tells me something. Same thing we can do is then go back to the XLB and see what is going on in this sector. XLC, what's going on in this sector. XLE, what's going on in this sector. XLF. And I look at all these and I say, all these are moving. The Apple, all those Magnificent Seven, none of them are in the XLF. And the XLF is doing really well by itself, right? And we can look and see where are these stocks being, what sectors are they, what do they belong to? And then if that's the case, then what's happening to the other sectors? And if the other sectors are doing so well, then technically speaking, it's just my belief, I could be wrong, but it's my belief that I don't think they control the whole market. I think they might control a good portion of it, but not the whole market. And so for financials to be doing extremely well, and none of those are part of the financials sector, what does that tell us about financials? So something positive is happening there, right? Okay, let's take a look. So Ara is saying, let's take a look at NVIDIA. I love NVIDIA. NVIDIA is ready to rock and roll. Now, NVIDIA had all these selling pressures, and this is what I mean. So once they start appearing, we tend to have a struggle for price to go higher. So you notice that price did not close above this level since then. So that was back in, what month was this when this happened? This was in June. July, August, September, October, November, December. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months where price has not been able to close above that. All right. But now it seems like with the overall market getting ready to head higher, chances are we might end up finally closing above that level. And that's what I love about what I see here on NVIDIA. Okay. So would this be a good time to start owning NVIDIA? Absolutely. For us, this is a great time to start owning NVIDIA. Enough. And I love what's happening. My expectation is that this downtrend channel should be broken very, very soon. And again, noting the fact that we are heading into a week where the market looks like it's ready to start heading higher, I will not be surprised that this would take this higher. By the way, before I finish, I know that Dave, I forgot to say this. Dave said I should mention anything that I'm trying to offer. All I'm trying to do is if anybody wants to know more about how we do what we do, every Monday nights we meet together at 8 o'clock. If you're interested in coming and join us on Monday night, feel free to do so. I will let you guys come in this month for free so you can test it out. If you don't like it after the month, you can, you say you don't want to join us. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do is just come join us. I'm gonna give you guys the link to this. Let me do this real quick. It is Right Side Trading, TTP. Let me hold on a second. Let me see if I can find this link. I forgot to send that to Dave. So it is rightsidetrading.com/Monday. All right. So let me make sure I get this link here, copy this, and I'll paste this right here. And I need to send this to everybody. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. All right. So Dave, if you don't mind, help me send this to everybody. I'd appreciate this. Hey, Downey, welcome, sir. Nice to be here. All right, so that's the link. All you have to do is just join us. It's every Monday night at 8 o'clock. So the whole month of January, I'm inviting you guys to come join us at 8 o'clock every Monday night. Come see if you want more information about how we analyze what's going on right here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. But let me go back here. So let's take a look at some other stocks. So I love NVIDIA. That's a buy for me. Burlington Coat Factory. This is another one that I think is getting ready to start heading higher. The issue that I had with this one, I believe, what was it on a monthly time? No, actually, no, it wasn't this stock. But no, this is a good stock, honestly. So whoever's in Burlington Coat Factory, you just have to. The biggest thing I would say is, again, depending on your goal. Are you trying to be in this long term? My expectation is that Burlington Coat Factory is trying to make it all the way up to here. So it will take time, but the good news is that it is on its way. Okay. It's been consolidating for a little while. So now that the market is ready to head higher, I would not be surprised that it's going to follow suit as well. All right. This stock right here, This is, let me take a look. I haven't seen this one yet. Monthly time for, okay. Here's a stock that's done well. It's finally got above and broken out. So that's good news, very good news. I like it when they have 1 month of rest, which is exactly what you see here. So this stock has rested for 1 month. And so now the question is it ready to start heading back higher again? The biggest thing we need to see now is because of all this consolidation right here, I'm okay. I expect this to start heading higher soon. My biggest thing would be if it can close above here, without a question, this is a stock that is ready to start heading higher. So this would definitely be a stock on my watch list for a buy. Um, yeah. So Burlington, yeah, definitely want to wait on that one, but it is a stock that should be on your buy list without a question. Okay. There are some stocks that I've been like, no, absolutely not. Don't buy that. This is a stock that did poorly on earnings, but that's actually okay news, so to speak. Part of that is because it had earnings. I mean, not earnings. It did a stock split that took place, and usually when companies do stock splits like this, it's just a matter of time before they recover. Okay. You could tell, look at this monthly chart. This is a healthy stock, healthy stock, healthy stock. Had one bad month. To me, these are buying opportunities in the market for the stock. Okay. So it's almost as if it's like, hey, if you missed out, on a stock like this is your chance to get back in. And so based off of this, I love the fact that earnings came down, it dropped, no problem. This is great. It's come back to where it was prior to even the stock split. Stock splits tend to double, triple, quadruple in price over the years. So long term, this is a great company. Short term, ready to go higher too as well. Okay. So, and I don't even have this one on my stock list. So whoever gave me this one, who was it that gave me this stock? Came up with this. All right. I appreciate that. Okay. I am going to call you a money magnet. I always tell people who give me stocks that I've never seen before or not that I don't have that are going to make me money. I would call them money magnets. You are now one of my money magnets, Ara. So thank you for that stock. This is a great stock. I think I would definitely want to own a stock like this, especially long term, especially long term. Again, taking it month by month, we can do stuff, but long term, this is a stock that is going to do well. I expect it to come back to new all-time highs and better. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So I hope I covered most of the stocks. BV. Hold on. I have one that I missed, BIVI, and that will be my last one because I only got a few seconds left. Bivy. All right. So a stock like this, I don't necessarily encourage. You can see historically, not a great stock. Yes, it might have some good months and stuff like that, but the risk you have when you see long wicks like this at the top, that just tells you at any moment it can come crashing down again. So if you're in a stock like this, you have to be prepared for that overnight drop that could take place at any moment. Okay. And then you see that they did a stock split, but they did what is called a reverse stock split. Not good news. Companies that do reverse stock splits are basically they hang it in there trying to survive. This is not a healthy stock that I would want to own. Um, you know, it's more of a 50-50 gamble, so to speak. All right. It could do well and pop, but as soon as it pops at any moment, it can also flop as well. All right. So that would be it on my end. Again, Dave, if you don't mind putting that link, again, it's free to come join us. Let you try it out. We do this Monday night, 8 o'clock, for anybody who wants to come join us for the month of January. And we'll have more time where we go into different stocks and so on and so forth. All right. Well, thank you.